My name is Jim Scaringi, and I'm the owner of Scaringi Nutrition and Wellness. At Scaringi Nutrition and Wellness, we fight to teach people on a daily basis that God designed the human body so perfectly that it can heal. And we've been on that mission for over 10 years. And it really came to fruition this past year during the trials and tribulations of what the world went through in COVID. When the world really came to a halt, God shined a light on us so bright that we not only doubled but tripled the size of the practice. Our outreach to people became even more massive because in all of the negativity and fear and doubt and darkness, I truly believe that God showed us as in the flesh some to be the light. We represented the body that He created, the immune system that He gave us, and I think our track record of what we achieved over the past 18 months in practice speaks for itself, that none of us got sick, none of us transmitted a sickness. I've seen over 40 people that had COVID themselves. I never even so much had a sniffle, and that is the glory of the design of the human body that God gave us. We just get to preach that in the flesh and teach it to other people.
What would you do? What would you say to people who are stuck now, who are struggling? What would you say to them about relying on God?
Well, I think that's the simple message of it, right? Think of the way that the devil works. The devil is always going to operate from fear and doubt. So if you find yourself making a move or a position and a change to something out of fear and doubt, please just ask yourself, do you think that that is a message from God? Because He would never make you move through fear and doubt. The message of God is to have hope, faith, and belief. So if you are hopeful, if you have faith, if you believe that your body can, it will. If you believe that you can come out of whatever ailment, sickness, or financial hardship you're having, it stems first with your prayer. Pray to God to give you the strength to have faith and belief in the body that He created, and I promise you, you will be rewarded.
Tell us more about your interaction with Dr. Roby and how God worked that miracle.
So it was just, again, it had to, and even the way when I'll tell you the story, it shows that it was an act of God. Dr. Roby was a massive figure. This man was one of the leaders of holistic healthcare in the Midwest down in Amarillo, Texas. He was a larger-than-life personality. His outreach was massive. About 5 years ago, I started following him and really paying attention to him, and I was amazed at the things that he would say and speak as a PhD, MD. I couldn't believe the verbiage and the words that he would use against the medical system and against drugs. So I just started sharing a lot of his videos and his posts and his teachings. And somewhere in this, he took notice to this, at the time, young kid out of Buffalo, New York, and he started tagging me in his posts. And one day I look at my wife and I go, "Babe, I think Dr. Roby knows who I am." I go, "Look, he keeps tagging me in his stuff." And I thought it was, just playful fun. And then when COVID happened, he was organizing a group of doctors to speak out against COVID and why it was not what the world made it seem. He rounded up one of the top gastroenterologists in Amarillo, a cardiologist, an ICU unit physician, and Dr. Roby. He had these 4 rock star doctors. And I went out on a limb. I went out on that faith thing. So I sent Dr. Roby a message. "Hey, Dr. Roby, big fan, love what you represent, love your work. Just want you to know if there's ever anything that you do that I could bring value to or assist you with, I'll drop the world and I'll come." A couple days go by, radio silence. On all days, God's day, Sunday, I get a phone call. Ring, ring, ring. I look at the phone. "Hello? Jimmy." "Yeah?" So I got an attitude. "Who is this?" "Dr. Mitchell." Out of all days, he called me on Sunday, and that was when he invited me to be part of this prestigious panel to debunk why COVID was not the way the world perceived it. Those ended up being the 4 or 5 greatest days of my life. I got a chance to spend every day, 24 hours a day with this man from sun up to sundown. He took me through and trained me on things that I had never learned before. We came home, we implemented those principles of the body and the way God created it. And that's why when I say that we've seen 14,000 people from last March until now, we've seen over 40 people diagnosed with COVID. Not one person on my staff has been sick. Not one person through the thousands of people that we work with lost their life to COVID. And I owe that to the glory of God, the human body that He created, and the blessing of the angel, Dr. Roby Mitchell, for learning the anatomy and physiology to the levels that they gave me.
So it sounds like you had a direct intervention from God leading you to Him, and
absolutely.
In preparation for the difficult times that we've been facing over the last year or so.
I sat back, Bob, and still counted my blessings, thinking, how me, why me, out of all the people in the world, how did I end up with this man in Amarillo, Texas? How did I end up at his house? And absolutely, it was divine intervention. It was absolutely God's plan. Roby was who he was for a reason. I am who I am for a reason. It was with no other avenue other than God having brought us together. And you're right, Bob, the knowledge and information that he taught me at the forefront of what was happening in this country, I believe absolutely changed the trajectory of people in Western New York because we represented the body extremely well.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, for your sharing with us today, and God bless you in all that you do and helping sick people get well and helping healthy people get even healthier.
Appreciate it. God bless you too, my brother.